For those of you reinventing yourselves online these days, I wanted to give you some tips and tricks that I've learned from being a YouTuber for the past 2 years. Stay home and make videos with me. How's it going, reinventors? My name is Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to take your own reinventing journey so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. And many of you are discovering you are reinventing yourselves online. Whether you are on Zoom meetings or doing Facebook Live, or even like me, doing YouTube videos, you're discovering that you are now having to put yourself out there online. So in the spirit of supporting each other and realizing we're all in this together, I wanted us to stay home and make videos together. Now you're gonna find that this video is a little bit different. For one thing, I wanted to make a video to help support you and show you how easy it is to make online videos. Whether they're live or recorded, that you can do this with just the simple things that you already have. You do not have to have any special equipment, makeup, lighting, any of those things to make great videos. So I am actually pared down, and I'm doing this with the very basics. This video is mainly on my cell phone, and I have an iPhone 6. It is very ancient. The whole case, which I never got a really thick case, is very it's coming apart. The sound is terrible on it, and so I'm also recording this on my video camera just so that you can compare the two. But I did that also because if the sound is not a good quality just for the video, that I wanted you to hear the difference. You'll hear that I'm kind of switching back and forth a little bit right here so that you can hear the difference in the sound quality. Now the sound may be better, I don't know. I confess that my phone has fallen in the toilet not once, but twice, and that's why the sound is so bad. So I'm very fortunate it still works. Let me tell you, rice, putting your phone in rice, restarting it, it all is good. I want to give a special shout out to all the small YouTubers out there. I just discovered, of course, I've been YouTubing for 2 years. I only have a little more right now, I only have a little more than 200 subscribers. I know people are like, well, why are you still doing that? You don't have thousands of people, but that's okay, because if I can just reach one person who's trying to reinvent their life and give them inspiration to do that, I have done my job. But I also want to support other small YouTubers out there. A lot of times huge YouTubers will be doing things and trying to help small YouTubers, but they'll call small YouTubers somebody with 5,000 followers, and that's not, to me, that's not a small YouTuber. But I just discovered a group of small YouTubers who give each other shout outs, usually on Sunday, and kind of lift each other up. So I want to give that group of folks a shout out, and I was hoping to give this video out on Sunday, but with the fact that we had really bad weather here, also we had a brownout and we lost all of our internet service, it just did not happen. And then yesterday was a day of recovery, plus we had a repair person to come in our house. So yes, I was spending most of yesterday cleaning before they got here and cleaning after they got here and airing out the house and all of those things. So thank goodness the main problem was outside, so they didn't have to spend a great deal of time inside, but it was very worrisome, and that's sort of all I did yesterday. So hopefully I will get this video out today. But if you are looking to start a YouTube channel, or you just want to check out some of the small YouTubers that I've admired the last couple of weeks, if you'll go down in the description, and I will be adding more of those folks and giving them a shout out as I go. So if you'll go down in the description, you'll see a couple, and like I said, I will add to that list as I go. But let's get into it, shall we? Here are the things that I've learned since being on YouTube. And you need to begin where you are. That is, what do you have on hand? If you have a cell phone, that is all you need to start. Believe me, especially the newest phones, either Android or iPhone, they have great cameras. So you need to take advantage of that. You do not need to go out and buy a lot of fancy equipment. And I'm just gonna show you what I've done with my cell phone at this time for this video. So I'm picking up my video camera, and I'm showing you what I've done with, I can't see it hardly in this light, so I'm gonna have to switch this over. But I'm showing you what I've done with my phone. I'm gonna move back. It's a bit crowded in my thing. I've put my cell phone on a vacuum cleaner. It is not on a tripod. And you can see my lovely case. It looks just beautiful. And in order to keep the cell phone upright in a good position, I just had to stick my wallet behind it. That's all that is. I don't have any fancy equipment, nothing really crazy going on here. So I wanted to tell you these things. Let me get these things moved back. Fix this a little bit. Uh-oh. I moved my cell phone a little bit, so I gotta fix that. One thing you do need to make sure is your cell phone is fairly even across. And I wanted to tell you all of these things and show you what I've done, is that you need to start where you are. Don't think you have to go out and get a bunch of fancy equipment or buy a bunch of fancy apps so that you can make videos. Begin where you are. Another thing that you can do that really drives me crazy, especially when I see this, especially on Facebook, people do Facebook Live, is that always have your cell phone or your camera either right at the same eye level or a little bit above. And the reason is you want to connect with your audience emotionally. That's the biggest draw. If you can connect with them emotionally, you've got them and they're going to follow you, they're going to watch you. Even if it's a business call, you want them there with you and listening what you have to say. However, if you are talking to them, and this is what I've seen, if you're talking to them from up here, then it's like you're talking down to them. And it's very disconcerting for your audience. They want to be on equal ground or maybe even a little above you. And I'm going to show you, like, if you decide, I feel like I'm talking up the whole time, then for my sake, I'm sitting on a pillow now. I am equal to my audience, and that is what you want to do. So when, you know, even if it's just a friendly FaceTime call, it really is helpful to be on the same level. Just remember that. That's just a little hint that I've learned, and I've watched some of my videos in the past and going, oh my gosh, I'm above everybody, or, you know, it's a talking head, or I'm like having this much of my face or something. Try to get your face fairly close, but not too close, and make sure you're on the same level or a little bit below your audience, that is your camera. I was looking at my notes and I was trying to find this, but one thing I didn't say in my notes is that make sure you're looking at the lens and not the screen. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. On your camera, it is much better if you are not on selfie mode, and that really for a couple of reasons. Number one is you have a better camera on the other side of your phone, and if you're on selfie mode, you are going to be watching the screen. I guarantee you're going to watch the screen the whole time. And this is what that looks like. So here I am, I'm just going to use my camera for example. I couldn't get my phone to work for that example. But here I am on my camera and I'm looking at the lens. Okay, here I am on my camera and I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at myself. I have seen so many videos lately where this is the thing you have the whole time. Do not look at the screen. My husband does some Facebook Live videos. What he's learned to do is he has it on selfie mode on his iPad, but he covers up the screen so he's not looking at himself. He's looking at the lens. Find the lens on your camera and make sure that you are looking at the lens. You are looking at your audience. Another trick and tip that I've learned is to take advantage of the light. Now, many of you know, you've watched my videos, you know I've got a set of lights, which is awesome, but natural light is the best, especially when you start out. There's nothing can replace natural light. What I did in my little room here is that I eventually took down the blinds. I didn't like them because I hate dusting, so I eventually took down the blinds in the room, and so I have all these beautiful windows and this natural light. Take advantage of natural light. Also, don't forget to check out your background. You doesn't have to be a fancy thing. If you need to hang a sheet on your wall, or just pick a wall. I've known of YouTubers who've just talked about on a blank wall. Just pay attention to your background. And if nothing else, at least straighten up your house or straighten up behind you. If you are working on videos, if you're finding yourself reinventing yourself online, in the comments below, please let me know. And if you're another small YouTuber, I would also love to hear from you, so give me a shout out in the comments below. Okay, one other thing that I've learned as a YouTuber is to be prepared. And one of the things that I did for this video is that I wrote out, it's sort of an outline, I wrote out everything that I was supposed to say. I try to do that as much as possible. Hang on, my battery is going on my camera, so hang on just a second. One of the things that you will learn, I just changed the battery on my camera, not on my cell phone, but one thing you have to make sure is when you're being prepared is if you have enough battery. And I was paying attention to my phone and not my camera battery because I knew I was doing it mostly on my phone today, so I didn't really pay attention to how much battery power I have left. So that's another way to be prepared. I decided to do this video with very little makeup on. I normally put a lot of makeup on because I look better with the makeup. I do know that. But I wanted to encourage you to start where you are. You do not have to get a lot of fancy makeup. What I have discovered is that there are 4 things that are going to help you have a neat appearance on camera, no matter what you're doing. Number 1 is your hair. Make sure your hair is styled. It is out of your face. In fact, I have this little hair today that is driving me crazy. I can't tell if you can see it. And a lot of times you won't be able to tell until you're editing the video. So before you start, make sure I had to take some lotion and kind of get my hair, even though my hair looked neat, I had a lot of flyaway. I just had to straighten that out. So your hair, make sure your hair is neat in appearance. Even if you wear a hairband or have your hair in a bun, as long as it's neat and out of your eyes. Another thing is limit your jewelry. Unless you're talking to a friend by FaceTime, your jewelry can be distracting. And I've learned this the hard way. In fact, one time I think I had a piece of jewelry that fell out of my ear during the video, and that was just very distracting. I learned this years ago when I sang in a choir, is that any kind of dangly earrings especially is very, very distracting. People will be watching your ears and not listening to what you have to say. Another thing about your appearance is pay attention to your teeth, your eyebrows, and your lips. I know that sounds crazy. If you can, especially if you're an older woman like me, and I am older, I'm over 50, is that your eyebrows are going to lighten. And what you can do is simply give your eyebrows, make sure you got them shaped in a nice way, give them a little, maybe a little boost in color, a little bit of gel. I mean, this is not time to go nuts with the eye. I'm not talking about microblading here. I'm just talking having neat eyebrows. And I've noticed since I've started doing a little bit darker on my eyebrows, it really does bring attention up rather than under here. And I don't want any attention under here because that's where my bags and dark circles and wrinkles are. So the more you can bring up and pay attention to your eyes and not under your eyes, the better off you are. I've talked about this in a video that I have on this card up here, as well as down in the description below, 12 things you can do even in this pandemic to improve your appearance. One of them is your teeth. Before this video, I brushed my teeth and I used turmeric in them just to give them a little polish. Along with that is having on some kind of lip balm or lipstick with some color. I'm not wearing a very bright lipstick right now, but if anybody's looking at your lips, and I learned this as a pastor preaching, anytime people are looking at your lips, you want a little color because it really does help out. Otherwise, you just look like a black hole speaking. I know guys don't always do this, but I think even guys sometimes would look good. Even if without color, at least make sure you don't have chapped lips. I want to talk a little bit about sound. Now, I mentioned before I have 2 things going on. I have my video camera and my cell phone. Cell phone doesn't have great sound, but there are things that you can do. I recommend Rode mics. I've used a lapel mic and I've used a mic that just sat on my cell phone. Once I switched to the camera, I had to give those up. That's one thing I do not like about this camera. It does make a noise. I have to edit the sound because you can hear the camera the whole time in the background unless I do a special edit every time. So just remember, if you are going to make an improvement in your videos and you don't know what to do next, I suggest the very first thing you should do is improve your sound because people need to be able to hear you, not just see you. Another thing that you can do is you can take a blanket like I have here and you can put that on the ground to help absorb sound. Get some pillows, some other soft things in the room to put around to help absorb the sound. That can really help you out. Also, don't mumble. You can't understand what I'm saying. When I first was recording videos, I had a very calm presence, and it was kind of like this, and I was telling you about why I chose to reinvent myself. That is not a really good sound because it doesn't have energy behind it. Now that I've done videos several times, I understand that energy. You don't have to be like this, but you do need to have some enthusiasm. It really does increase your sound. Another thing, and I don't know if I do this anymore because I tend to edit these out when I'm editing, is don't say If you need to, be silent. Even silence on a video is powerful. Now, like I said before, if you're on a business call where somebody might drop in, I can understand that. But you might say something like, wait a minute, let me think about this for a second. Okay, what I meant to say was that sort of thing without saying So silence can be golden. Don't be afraid to use it. It's much more powerful than saying or like or what or and. That's my favorite one. Another thing is that I've learned to keep it to the point and short, and I realize now that this video is probably not as short as I thought it was going to be. I wanted to do it in real time. I've had a couple of interruptions. I've had my iPhone storage to fill up. My battery on my camera died because I wouldn't check it because I was paying attention to my phone, and I had a neighbor come by with the mask. But overall, you need to keep it straight and to the point. I've given up on my phone because it says iPhone storage is full and I can't stop it. Part of that is the video itself. It takes up too much memory in my phone. I want to encourage you to use all of these things, even if you're just talking with a friend, can really help your video quality. It will help you to reinvent yourself to be somebody who does videos. Whether it's a live or recorded video, have fun with it. And that's the most important thing. I love being creative, I love having fun, and enjoying what I'm doing. If you plan on doing a video in the next few days, I want to see a thumbs up from you. Whether it's here on YouTube, whether it's Facebook, Instagram stories, or Instagram movie, wherever it is, give me a thumbs up if you plan on doing a video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so today, and don't forget to check out all of those small YouTubers whose links with their latest video are in the description. Stay home, make videos with me, and have a great one.